everyone, fellow back members, back secretariats, members of the technical working group, and viewers. Today is July 9, the private conference of projects under 2026 data. And before we start, I ask everyone to please stand for a prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, thanking you for the gift of this time together. We ask for your guidance as we gather to discuss, plan, and make decisions. Fill our minds with wisdom and understanding, and our hearts with patience and compassion for one another. Help us to speak with clarity, listen with open minds, and work together in unity. May our efforts today be pleasing to you and bear fruit that honors you. Bless this conference, Lord, and may your will be done in all that we do. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Before we proceed, may I remind everyone that all the statements made during this conference are for clarification purposes only. And any modifications to the building documents shall be issued through a supplemental or bid bulletin. This shall form an integral part of the building documents. At this point, I request the Secretariat to kindly play the video of the screen for the selection of our official observers.
The first official observer is the Philippine Partnership for the Development of Human Resources in Rural Areas. The second official observer is the Philippine Contractors Association Incorporation.
Thank you. We ask the Back Secretariat if you have sent letters of invitation to our official observers.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have sent letters of invitation to our official observers. At this point, we will present the letters of invitation on the screen for everyone's information. For the record, the Back Secretariat sent letters of invitation to the recognized observers on July 2, 2026. First, the invitation addressed to Mr. Mark Cyrus S. Kawalan, State Auditor P and OIC Audit Team Leader of the Commission on Audit, is dated July 2, 2026 and was received by the Commission on Audit on the same day, as evidenced by the official receiving stamp. Second, the invitation addressed to Ms. Aritao-Quirino, National Coordinator of the Philippine Partnership for the Development of Human Resources in Rural Areas, is likewise dated July 2, 2026. The invitation was transmitted to electronic mail on July 2, 2026 at 3:10 p.m. as shown in the email sent record. Third, the invitation addressed to Mr. Morris Alfonso, President of the Philippine Contractors Association, is dated July 2, 2026 and was received on July 2, 2026 as evidenced by the official receiving stamp. The invitation was likewise transmitted to electronic mail on July 2, 2026 at 3:43 p.m. 3:33 p.m. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Since we have an invitation sent to them, I hope they are watching us now. Once again, I request the Secretariat for confirmation of attendance and to determine if we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the back members, Engineer Malaysia C. Tumbali Jr., Chairperson, Engineer Herbert M. Agudelo, Regular Member, Engineer Noel P. Amador Jr., Regular Member, Lorna P. Barot, Regular Member, Engineer Anthony P. Sumaling, member for all types. Next, Engineer RGP Lab, provisional member construction projects. And Engineer Paul Jackie Situliao, provisional member maintenance projects. And for the back secretariat, Engineer Robert M. Uro, head. Engineer Jocelyn P. Regala, member. Engineer Cindy M. Demas C. Valdez, yours truly, Sir J. Linan, member. Sir Belmar G. Querido, member. Sir Roy M. Tahon, member. Sir Joel Sia, member. And for the back, PWG, Engineer Landry A. Linan, head. Ma'am Jonalyn Q. Barasi, member. Reynaldo B. Regasa, Jr., member. Engineer Chester T. Aguada, member. And for the implementing unit and end user, Engineer George C. Valdez, from the position PDO. Mr. Chairman, a quorum is present. We are ready to proceed with the conduct of today's procurement activity.
Thank you, Madam Dr. Secretary. Since we have a quorum, I now hereby declare this private conference officially in order for the contract IDs 26BJ0024 and 26BJ0025. And for our agenda for this private conference, the items are as follows. The usual, number 1, basic contract data. Number 2, question comments from bidders, enterprise of back and other representative of the procuring entity. Number 3, the requirements of bidding documents. Number 4, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Number 5, proposed amendments, if there's any. Number 6, we have the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post qualification and award. Number 7, other matters, announcements. And the last one, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins to be issued. And to continue for our agenda number 1, the project listed will be discussed to us by Engineer George. Sir George, may you take your part.
Good morning, everyone. First project is 26BJ0024. Organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, bridge program, rehabilitation or major repair of underlying bridges, Batu Bridge B0276 along Pantabangan-Canili-Basal-Baler Road, Alfonso, Castañeda, Nueva Vizcaya. So our project location is located at Alfonso, Castañeda, Nueva Vizcaya. Our station unit is kilometers 0190 plus 542, kilometers 0190 plus 575.90, giving a bridge length of 35.90 meters. Our approved budget of contract is 9,604,000 pesos. Project duration is 101 calendar days. So this is our vicinity map and key location map. This is our Batu Bridge showing the access roads to Barangay Dumog, Alfonso, Castañeda, and to Barangay Poblacion, Pantabangan-Canili-Basal-Baler, and to Balitugon years, Barangay Dumog, Alfonso, Castañeda. So next is our detailed engineering plan. We have here our bridge general plan, our existing plan. So we have a total length of 35.90 meters, bridge carriageway, consisting of 2 spans. So our first span is 16 meters, and our second span is 17.9 meters. And we have total approaches of 10 meters. So next our proposed general plan. So we have here provision of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, white and yellow for our bridge, carriageway, and approaches. Next is the provision of asphalt overlay of 376.33 square meter with 50 millimeter thickness, and provision of expansion line 50 millimeter scalp split finger type for both abutment. And next is our reflected bridge deck slab. For our bridge deck slab, we have proposed one layer carbon fiber sheet. So this is the legal arrangement of our carbon fiber sheet. So each carbon fiber sheet will have a width of 250 millimeters and the spacing as shown. Next is our carbon fiber sheet on the deck slab and right. So this is a standard application of carbon fiber sheet, and for two-layer carbon fiber sheet, we'll just repeat the layers 4 and 5. This is the elevation of expansion 10 50 millimeters from centimeter type. So next is we have the proposed gabions. Our gabion is 54 cubic meters for abutment full protection. Then the provision of road and bridge for side temporary signages for traffic safety. That's all for the 60-0024. Next is 26-0025. Organizational outcome 1. Ensure safe and reliable national road system. Bridge program, rehabilitation or major repair of permanent bridges. Dumog Bridge D04650 along Aritao-Quirino Road, Kasibu, Nueva Vizcaya. Our station release is kilometer 0274 plus 177 to kilometer 0274 plus 189.50, giving a total bridge length of 12.85 meters. And our approved budget of contract is 5,762,400 pesos. And our traffic duration will be 19 calendar days. So this is our vicinity map. Here is the access roads to Pastel Norte and to Barangay Sigüe, Kasibu, Nueva Vizcaya. Next is our existing bridge general plan. So we have a total of bridge of 12.85 meters, and our approaches is 4.5 meters. So next. Next is our proposed bridge general plan. So we have also here the provision of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings for bridge and approaches, and provision of asphalt overlay of 150 square meter and up 50 millimeter thickness. And for our bridge next slab, we have proposed 2 layers. So correction, 2 layers po yung carbon fiber sheet installed for our bridge next slab. Then this is our bridge general section. And again, this is the detailed arrangement of carbon fiber sheet on our next slab. So we have here 500 millimeters width of carbon fiber sheet, which then next is the standard application of our carbon fiber sheet. Since it is 2 layers, layers 4 and 5 will be repeated. And our bridge next slab middle section. So last is the provision of rubber concrete for river block protection and bridge abutment with a total of 373 cubic meters. And last is the provision of road and bridge roadside temporary signages. That's all po for the existing 625.
Thank you, Engineer George. Madam Secretariat, may I ask if there are any questions from our viewers?
None, Mr. Chair.
Since there are no questions, let us now proceed to our agenda number 3, requirements of bidding documents. This will be presented to us by our Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We shall now present the requirements for the bidding documents. For RTB Clause 1.1, procuring entity is the DPWH Nueva Vizcaya Second Engineering Office for 26 PG 0024 re-advertisement and for 26 PG 0025 for re-advertisement. For RTB Clause 5.3, the minimum requirement pickup license for this contract is as follows. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, allowable range of contract costs up to 30 million. Department Order Number 110 Series of 2024, implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification, requirements for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. For ITB 5.4, contracts similar to the projects shall be those described as follows. Major category of work, BRHC, WOP, bridges, rehabilitation, complete superstructure without piles. Note, the above SLCC must be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or the final rating of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation. Cases of contracts with the private sector and equivalent of shall be submitted. And for ITB 12.1H2, for the key personnel, project manager, general experience 3, relevant experiences 3, project engineers 3, relevant experience 3, must be at least DPWH accredited provisional project engineer 10 contracts located in the same region for simultaneous assignments is each costing not more than 100 million, but with an aggregate cost of not more than 500 million, as per Section 3 of DEO 169, Series of 2025. And for the materials engineer, general experience 3, relevant experiences 3, and must be at least DPWH accredited materials engineer 1. And for the foreman, general experience 3, relevant experiences 3. Note, the key personnel shall meet the required number of years of work experience as specified. Such experience shall refer to the total numbers of years of civil works experience, covering any nature of construction and or engineering consultancy services. And for compliance with DO 169, Series of 2025, guidelines on the accreditation of contractors and consultants project engineers shall be strictly observed. 3. The bidder shall submit for its nominated project engineer a valid copy of the DPWH accredited certificate or any other official proof of DPWH accreditation, clearly indicating the applicable classification, a valid copy of the corresponding DPWH accreditation identification card if available, and a valid copy of the PRC professional identification card. Such documents shall be submitted together with standard personnel qualification documents required under the bidding documents. And 4. Compliance with Department Order 98 Series of 2016, revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineers shall be strictly observed. 5. The bidder shall submit for its nominated materials engineer a valid copy of the DPWH accreditation certificate, a valid copy of the corresponding DPWH accreditation identification card, and a valid copy of the PRC professional identification card. Such documents shall be submitted together with the standard personal qualification documents required under the bidding documents. And for the sixth, the bidder shall nominate separate personnel for the positions of project engineer and materials engineer. The same individual shall not be assigned to both positions. This requirement is intended to ensure adequate checks and balances, independent verification of works and materials, and effective monitoring of compliance and project specifications and quality standards. And for the 12.1H3, the minimum major equipment requirements for the 26BJ0024 and for the 26BJ0025, it was reflected in the bidding documents. And for the ITB Clause 17, all bidding documents submitted by interest bidders shall strictly be in A4 size, 210 mm by 297 mm bond paper. Each bidder shall submit one original and two copies of the first and second components of its bid. And for the ITB Clause 30.3, the performance security shall be in the form 1. The amount of not less than 30% of the contract price if performance security is security bond. It's surety bond. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, madam. Now we proceed to our agenda number 4. The documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, and this will be presented through a video presentation.
Checklist of technical and financial documents for civil works. 1. Technical component envelope. Class of documents. 1. Legal documents. A. Valid PhilJEP's registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, in accordance with section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR-RA number 12,009. 2. Technical documents. B. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, and C. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules, and D. Special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid, and E. Original copy of bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and F. Project requirements, which shall include the following. A. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid. B. List of contractors' key personnel, e.g., project manager, project, engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. C. List of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, and G. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSSN. H. If applicable, original notarized secretary certificate and latest general information sheet or GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information or BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, and I. If applicable, original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder, and J. If applicable, ISO 9001, 2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects. 3. Financial documents. K. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC. Class B. Documents. L. If applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. 2. Financial component, envelope M, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and other documentary requirements under RA number 12009N, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, and O, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and P, cash flow by quarter. That is all for the checklist of technical and financial documents for civil works to be submitted by the bidder.
Thank you. Let us now proceed to our agenda number 5, the proposed amendments. Since there are no questions or comments from our viewers, we now proceed to the next agenda item, the agenda number 6, the criteria and procedures for the preliminary examination of bids. It is detailed evaluation of bids and post-application.
Evaluation for the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects. In accordance with Section 61 of the IRR of Republic Act Number 12009. Section 61.1. Members of the BAC, its staff and personnel, Secretariat, and TWG, as well as observers, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its Secretariat, may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. Section 61.2. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid or LCB using the following steps. Section 61.2.1. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria and considering the following. A. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and, thus, automatically disqualified. However, when no price or a zero or a dash is indicated in a required item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for, and B. Arithmetical corrections. The BAC shall consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. Section 61.2.2. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, if applicable, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for the bid evaluation and comparison. Section 61.2.3. In case of discrepancies between 1. Bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. 2. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. 3. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. 4. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. And 5. Amount and price schedule and in the bid form, the latter shall prevail. Section 61.2.4. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications, to identify the LCB. Total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications, which exceed the ABC shall be disqualified. Section 61.2.5. The entire evaluation process for the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects using LCB as criteria shall be completed 1/21 within 7 calendar days from the deadline for receipt of proposals. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. In accordance with Section 63 of the IRR of RA number 12,009. Section 63.1. Key bidder with the LCB, MAB, or the MEAD, in the case of goods and infrastructure projects, or the HRB, in the case of consulting services, shall undergo post-qualification to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. Section 63.2. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the back that the bidder has the LCB, MEAD, MAB, or HRB, the bidder shall submit all the eligibility documents supporting its PhilJet certificate of registration, plan of membership, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time, or a finding against the veracity thereof, shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Article 21 of the Act and this IRR. Section 63.3. During post-qualification, the BAC shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the eligibility documents supporting the PhilJet certificate of registration, plan of membership, and all the other statements made, and documents submitted by the bidder with the LCB, MEAB, MAB, or HRB, using non-discretionary criteria, as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to the following. A. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist, as provided in Section 54 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a portal which contains the consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. B. Technical requirements. To verify and validate the bidder's stated compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements. To verify and validate the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents or the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. Section 63.4. If the BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB, MEAB, MAB, or HRB passes all the criteria for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the LCRB, MEARB, or MARB, in the case of goods and infrastructure projects, or the HRRB, in the case of consulting services, and recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the said bidder at its submitted bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower, or, in the case of quality-based evaluation procedure, submitted bid price or its negotiated price, whichever is lower. Section 66. Notice and execution of award. Section 66.1. The BAC shall recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB, MEARB, MARB, HRRB, SCRB, SBARB, SARB, or SRRB, as the case may be, after the post-qualification process has been completed. And that is all from the detailed bid evaluation until execution of award. Thank you.
Thank you. Next for our agenda number 7. May I request the Secretariat for the announcements?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Allow me to present the schedule of the succeeding procurement activities for the guidance of all respective leaders. Announcement reminders for the procurement activity private conference on July 10, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. and for the opening of bids on July 22, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. for the Civil Works 26PJ 0070 to be held at Conference Room DPWH Nueva Vizcaya 2nd DEO. Next, for the procurement activity opening of bids on July 14, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. same venue for the Civil Works 26PJ 0013 and 26PJ 0060 up to 26PJ 0029. And for the procurement activity Submission and opening of shortlisting eligibility documents on July 14, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. Same venue for the consultancy with contract ID 25 CSPJ02. And for the private conference on July 15, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. and opening of bids on July 28, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. for the civil works projects 26 PJ008, 26 PJ009, 26 PJ0011, 26 PJ0012, 26 PJ0015, 26 PJ0021, and 26 PJ0022. And for the procurement activity, opening of bids on July 21, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. same venue for the civil works projects 26 PJ0023 to 26 PJ0027, and for the projects 26 PJ0048, 52, 56, 57, 58, and 59. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Fellow board members, are there any additional announcements? There being none, therefore we will now proceed to our last agenda. The summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, to be issued. And since under agenda number 2, there were no questions raised, and under agenda number 5, there are no proposed amendments. The provisions as stated in the bidding documents as posted in the bid decks and DPWH websites are hereby sustained. If there are no further matters to discuss, may I now entertain a motion for the adjournment of this private conference.
Mr. Chair, we move for the adjournment of this procurement activity.
May I have a second to the motion? It has been properly moved and seconded that this private conference be adjourned. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is hereby approved. This private conference is hereby adjourned. Thank you very much for your usual participation and cooperation.